Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Leaning In with Anne, live walk and talk. This is something I do every morning, and it's really gotten so fun. I love it. I am here to just kind of expel from my brain what has come into it throughout the night, throughout the day, as I've worked and mentored some of my clients and taught. There's so much that is always going on in my brain. And so I am now doing a walk and talk. So I would love for you to stay. I would love for you to listen and work with me. We're going to talk all about thinking today and what is so important of us understanding our mind and what that is. So that's the subject today. I want to quickly go into the mind and the understanding of the mind. Your mind is not your brain. Your mind is actually the essence of your soul. Have you ever seen or heard like near death experiences? Like they're not in their body, which means their brain, and yet they're thinking and they're aware. You, the core of you, is actually the mind, the intelligence, what you perceive, what you think, what you're looking at. All of that is the essence and core of you. Isn't that really cool? You cannot stop thinking. You will always be thinking, even in your dreams. I mean, there's a place where you kind of shut off the brain for a second, but even in dreams, we're thinking, we're looking, we're sorting things out, we're making sense of things. That's because the essence of you is intelligence. Okay. Again, near death experiences, people they still remember, even though they're not in their body with their brain. We have learned scientifically that we can change perceptions by new thoughts that rewire the brain. Then the brain helps our intelligence and helps our body vibrate and brings things to us. So, brainwashing. Let's talk about it. I've always had a negative connotation to brainwashing, right? Because it's like somebody else is going to give me thoughts that is going to cause behavior that is I don't have a choice in. It's just what I believe now. And so therefore it's how I behave. Do you know how awesome that is if we turn that into personal brainwashing? Like if that's possible, right? What about personal brainwashing? Okay, that's what we worked on a little bit with the declarations. This is why. The way to change the neural pathways, there's literally circuits in your brain that when a powerful thought, the one you want, takes root, it steals. There's only so much neural growth factor to go around. And so right now it's sealed your thoughts that may not be productive for you. So if you change your thought, and it's the thing that's the most powerful, that all that neural growth factor solidifies into the new thought, and then you're awesome. You're in your awesome space. Okay. This is all about belief. You can have a thought. It doesn't mean it's going to stick. You can start to emotionally connect to that thought, right? But it's not belief yet. When it becomes belief, meaning that thought and feeling are the truth to your soul, that is when things start to change. So we're trying to grab belief. There is a progression that we need to do to help our subconscious accept. So a lot of people are saying that when you write a declaration like this, you have to immediately go to the I am. The problem is the I am feels like imposter, feels like you're lying to yourself. And that feeling is what's actually driving things. So that's why the thought can't take hold and why it doesn't reprogram the neural pathway. So there are some steps that our subconscious mind can warm up to the I am. It's kind of like, I don't know, like getting into a warm bathtub and then turning on the heat to really warm it up. If I put my foot in that bathtub when it's at the hottest level of what I want, ooh, I'm out. But if I sit in where it's comfortable and then I warm the water up, I can stand it, right? So we're going to do that same thing. Okay. The first step is to give yourself permission. I have permission to provide for myself and my children without guilt. How about that? I have permission to abundantly provide for myself and my children without guilt. Guys, I have permission to have confidence in my decisions. I have permission to have ADD and be productive, or whatever the that is. I have permission. Is your step one. Once you get really, really firmly rooted in that I have permission to do this without guilt, we're going to move into I choose. I choose. I choose to provide abundantly for me and my children without guilt. This was a big thing for me. I actually went through a period of time where it was about taking care of myself. I could take care of myself, but it's almost like I had to have the right amount of guilt attached to it so that I wasn't selfish. And I worked with somebody, and this is the declaration we wrote. I have permission to take care of myself without guilt. I have permission to take care of myself without guilt. I went to the store about 3 weeks later, and I needed some new shirts, and I found some at Gap, and I put them on, and I really liked them. And immediately I went, oh no, but somebody else needs something. And I went to put them back. And because I had been repeating this in my head over and over, I have permission to take care of myself without guilt. I stopped and I said, no, I have permission to take care of myself without guilt. I let you know those shirts were like $5. They were on sale. $20 is all I needed to spend. And I'm so glad that that thought came in. So you can choose now. I choose to provide abundantly for myself and my children without guilt. Okay, next step. Ready? This is the next level up. I enjoy. How I enjoy taking care of myself and my children without guilt. I have permission to accept and love myself without shame. That is beautiful. Now let's up level. Just so you know what the up levels are. And when you say these up levels, you got to see where it lands, okay? Because there's one that's going to go, oh, and then there's like, I'm okay there. I'm okay there. So we're going to see what temperature you're at. I have permission. I choose. Now I enjoy. I enjoy accepting and loving myself without shame. I just really enjoy it. I enjoy taking care of myself without guilt. I enjoy providing abundantly for myself and my children without guilt. Right? I enjoy speaking confidently about my desires. I enjoy receiving my desires. Right? I enjoy confidently receiving my desires without guilt, without shame. The next one, it's the I am or I do. The highest level of this is I abundantly provide for myself and my children without shame. I abundantly provide for myself and my children without shame. And I love it. Right? I enjoy. I do. I have permission. All of the building blocks behind that is what we need to do. So if the I provide abundantly for my children feels so far out of reach, that's because you just jumped into a bathtub that's boiling hot and you go, ouch. That one doesn't feel good. Out. The other thing that I know is that the without shame, without guilt, really is the underlying thing. I had a lot of shame in doing these lives and being on social media. I was told by someone who was experiencing a lot of jealousy that I am just trying to gather disciples. Not like there's nothing about brainwashing, right? And that um, I believed it was hurtful for me to shine, for me to speak, for me to help people. I had a belief in me that if I shine, I hurt others. So I had a lot of shame, but I had this compulsion to, I see things, I see nuances in things. And if someone will allow me, they give me permission that I can help, right? But this person was very, very negative and very jealous. And I believed it. I believed that my reaching out and helping people was causing pain and that I could do it, but I had to feel really afraid and really nervous. I had to feel ashamed of it. What I did was I gained a whole lot of weight so that if I was on social media, I could not feel good about myself in front of the camera. I finally gave away my shame. And I said, God has put something into my heart to show up for people in the most authentic way I can and to help them find the holes in their belief. We all have holes in belief somewhere, right? There's a new program that I am launching soon. It's called Igniting Your Belief. That's belief in God and your relationship with Him, belief in yourself, belief in your partner, belief in your potential, belief in your dreams, belief in your children. There's so many areas that we have holes in our belief that we can help write those declarations and start getting your subconscious brainwashed. Purposely brainwashing. Isn't that a fun concept? I choose to brainwash myself for every positive good and outcome in alignment with God that I can. Because when I pray first, when I ask Him for help, anything I come up to Him is already His. Because I've invited Him into the space to give me the thoughts, right? The thoughts coming from either side. If I invite the Holy Spirit to be with me while I'm creating these things, everything that comes is already His. How cool is that? You don't have to wonder if it's His will or yours. So good. And then what happens when the subconscious believes it is that the shame isn't there when you step into it. The fear is gone. And you just confidently step in. And you kind of look back and you go, oh, I remember when I was ashamed to take care of myself. Wow. Why that particular session with this beautiful spirit was so important for me. I had permission to take care of myself without guilt because it was 6 months before I was diagnosed with breast cancer. Now, why was that important? I have permission to take care of myself without guilt. In other words, I have permission to seek out God's will for me. And if He says no chemo, which is what He did, I am not feeling guilty about not doing what everybody is pushing me to do. I have permission to take care of myself without guilt, without shame. And the doctors actually didn't know what to do with me. Most of them left me alone. And I, and 6.5 years out, triple negative breast cancer, because I had permission to take care of myself without guilt. So I'm telling you what, this stuff works. All right, everybody, thank you for being here. And if this was beneficial to you, let's jump on tomorrow. Please share this. Please reach out to me for help. Will you please? I have permission to help others whenever I choose. So there is a lie that comes into people's brains that is, she's too busy. I don't want to bother her. If you are hearing that, it's a lie. You don't know what I do. You don't know if I sit around eating bonbons all day, Netflix binging and doing nothing. I like appear really good here, but you don't know what I'm doing. And the Spirit will always provide time for me, the person that I need to speak to. So if you would love some help, I will help you. It may be one-on-one. It may be in a group class. It may be on a Marco Polo back and forth. It may be that I help you with one of the mentors that I've trained that is specifically put on this earth because they can connect with you. So reach out to me. Share this with others, and let's brainwash. You can't brainwash anybody else, by the way. You have to stay in your own car and your own line, brainwash you. All right, that is it, my friends. Mwah. I love you. Thanks for being here, and I will talk to you soon.